Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today I'll be showing y'all the best storm damage setup at level 170 for PvE. Once again, I'm still flat broke, so I'm going to be missing 4 circle jewels, which equates out to 44 damage that I'm missing. So as you see here, 233, this can go all the way to 277. So for obvious reasons, that's pretty crazy. 277 damage on any school is just wild. So when you consider, this is like Storm's DPP and all that, it's like 277 damage is pretty wild. So 277 is what it is, and the resist, it's gonna be the lowest out of any. Like this is gonna be 31 resist, and then obviously you can sock it like a shield pin or whatever on the hat, but resist is obviously going to be pretty low, as is the custom of Storm. Accuracy, it's still very easy to get this to max, and so that, fizzle and all that. Crit solid, block not so much. 47 pierce, which actually subtract 18 from that. This is 29 pierce, which I will admit is actually still pretty solid. A lot of mobs in Wallaroo have, somewhere in like the 20 to 30 range of resistance, so having 29 pierce is still pretty solid. You'll full pierce most of the basic mobs, and I know a lot of the bosses don't really have as much resist either, so it won't be too big of a deal. So, 277 damage and full piercing a lot of the mobs and bosses in this final world here. That is pretty nice. Although, I guess if you were going to farm Freddy Croker over there, I would recommend having a little more pierce, maybe have your stats look something a little more like this, but it's all up to you. Base serve 19%, that doesn't really matter though. Pips are 100%, perfect. Shads are, 120 if you're using the Raid Wand, which I am, but shads aren't really too important unless you want to use like a shad on turn 2 when you're farming, which I will be doing a lot of because I need to get socket wrenches badly. It can be nice if you have the Raid Wand, but don't worry about the shads otherwise. So those are the stats. Let's go ahead and go over the gear. So, as is the custom, the best hat is still the Fractal Eon Helm, and this gives, 35 damage, 6 pierce, pretty solid accuracy, and some good amount of pips. And that's pretty good. That is the best in slots. As you can see, like Burrower gear, for example, gives 32. The Hun Hao gives 32. Shabalba gives 35, but you lose pips, and pips are very important, much more so than the Shadow Pip rating, so definitely still get the Eon hat. This drops from the Eon of athame boss at the end of Novus. Have fun farming that. You probably won't. The robe is Nullity, and this is kind of a staple. If you've watched my other 2 videos, you're starting to see a pattern here. But yeah, Nullity gives 6% more damage than the Eon robe, which I actually don't have on me, but it also gives 3% more damage and 1% more pierce than the Nightmare robe, and you can still afford to use this and hit perfect pips and accuracy with the benefit of the higher damage and pierce and all that. So definitely get the Nullity robe. There are definitely still plenty of guilds doing Voracious Void, so you can join one that defeats Nullity on a regular basis and get this dropped as the 150 version, and then just upgrade to 160 using all of the pixels that you will get from farming for this atrocity. And this atrocity along with it, because the boots are also Eon, and you get these from Ren 1010 in La Ville Rose in Novus, and Lassie in Nuvacorgia starts that side quest chain. So if you're looking to get these Eon boots, definitely go talk to her, and it's an interesting little side quest chain, I'll say that much. But once you get them, 42 damage, 7 pierce, all at your disposal, as well as having 1,000 health, which is pretty solid. Storm's health has gotten pretty high, honestly. Like, if I wasn't missing jewels, I could definitely get up to 10k, so definitely get these if you can. For the wand, take your pick. Eon is much easier to get. That also drops from the Eon of athame boss, same as the hat. So, go get it. Go get it if you want. And The raid one that I have equipped is also pretty nice, again, just for the shads. You don't really lose any stats except pip conversion, which is not really too important in late game PvE, so just something to keep in mind when you're looking at a wand. But in terms of, you know, damage and pierce and crit and all that, they tie in terms of all of that. So it really just depends on, you know, if you can get into a raid for the one that gives shads and whatnot. So this is a staple. This is the best wand at max level. For the athame, you will want the Fierce Dream Reaver knife, and this drops from the Invader fleets in the Doom Moon in Novus. And obviously, you know, you want this because it gives the 2 circle sockets and the square socket for 525 more health. So, you know, you can socket a lot of extra HP onto this, which helps your survivability a ton. And as a storm, as I showed you, 31 resist, that matters a lot. So definitely get this, if for no other reason than to get the square socket. So as for the circles, though, those you can replace both of them with the Unearthly Damage Amethyst, which actually dropped from Freddy Croker over there. So if you have them, socket them, and if you don't have them, craft them. That's kind of what it boils down to. The athame itself gives 27 damage, so with the added 22 that you get from the 2 circle jewels, you're looking at 49% damage from 1 piece of gear, which in my opinion is pretty insane. The amulet is obviously the Dream Reaver amulet. This drops from Crash the Bandicoot out in the Wabagong territory. You get the side quest chain to go fight him from Lady Cortexia in Billabong Resort, and you know, it's not like Red 10 where there's a boss in between, you know, she just kind of sends you straight to him, so that's nice at least. And then for the triangle socket, you're going to want a Storm Accuracy Jewel, obviously, because this is going to be the only triangle socket you have with this whole setup, so definitely socket one of those. You can get these from Maxine. I think the Invader fleets also drop them, so be sure to have them. You can also craft with Dreamwater if you have it, so definitely do that. And then as for the circle, again, another 11% storm damage if you are going for the full 277. Another highlight of mine with this amulet is the 35% item card Stormblade. This stacks with regular blades and pet blades and all that, so this can be very helpful. For the ring, I don't have any sockets unlocked on this, but this drops right here in the Dreaming from Freddy Croker, who is just over there. You see a bunch of people chilling by the sigil, probably teaming up and all that. Definitely get this ring. This is best in slot. This gives a total of 20 damage, which is pretty crazy, honestly. And it gives a lot of pip chance, a lot of crit, and again, for the circle jewel, you can socket the Unearthly Damage Amethyst for 11% more, and then you can get like close to another 700 just off of this piece alone from the tier and square sockets. So you can now officially, as of Wallaroo, reach 10,000 health on a storm, which I think is honestly pretty great. It's an interesting direction that the developers have taken with the school, so get it if you can, the jewels especially. But if you just care about the damage, then definitely you can get everything you need in terms of the ring here in the Dreaming from Freddy Croker. You'll get the ring dropped as well as the circle jewels. They come from here, and after you beat them 10 times, you can just craft them anyway, so do that. For the pets, I have a Quint damage, and I think I have Mighty Manifested on there somewhere. But yeah, Quint damage pet on a Clamoring Gulcher. I just like the Clamoring Gulcher because it's another Stormblade item card that I can stack. So if I ever need to do that, I can. So you can also make this on a Frillosaur, and if you have the corresponding Bronto mount, you can get another 4 damage, I believe. Yeah, 4. And reach 281, which is like the absolute highest at the moment, like that any school can get. So if you can get that, cool, but this is a free to play video, so I wouldn't worry about it too much if you cannot. So that is a dub. And then for the mount, again, the Battle Narwhal is technically free, so you know, you can fish this up in the Polarian Bundle House, the Polarian, I think, Explorers type thing. Basically, just if it says Polarian, it'll show up in Marilla Windspar, and you can go and fish there. It'll take some work, but you will eventually get this, and it is the best free-to-play damage mount, so definitely go grab it. For the deck, I use the Dream Reaver deck because of its circle socket, and again, this is the one time I actually have the damage tool in, and you can farm this deck from Mr. Montgomery in the Doom Moon. And once you get it dropped, you know, obviously socket your Circle Jewel, your Unearthly Damage Amethyst, and get 11% more. And that will round you out to 277, assuming you have 2 Circle Jewels here, 1 here, and 1 here. So, 277. And all of that without having to do anything more than, you know, paying for a membership. I know some of y'all have been commenting like, oh, it's not free to play, yada yada, but you can get these stats without paying more. It's kind of the point of the videos. So that is going to wrap up. Again, you know, I don't have it, but you can have it. It is 277 storm damage with 29 pierce. So that is pretty insane to me. You know, it really, like, Storm really, like, steps ahead of the other schools in this update with their damage. So it is a good time to be a Storm in Wizard101, PvE at least. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I have been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is linked down in the description if you want to chat with me some more. And I will see y'all later.